Welcome to Rare Breed Brotherhood. There's a reason Sigma males are rare. You don't just go through life with quiet independence, sharp self-awareness, and a refusal to conform without facing challenges that would break most people. A Sigma male's strength doesn't come from loud declarations or chasing approval. It's born from navigating a world that often misunderstands his nature. But even the strongest have limits. When a Sigma male reaches his breaking point, it's not chaos, it's transformation. It's a moment where pain and frustration fuel clarity, action, and reinvention. Unlike others who might crumble or lash out, Sigma males use these moments to recalibrate their lives, cut out toxicity, and emerge more focused, powerful, and self-reliant than ever. If you're a Sigma male reading this, know that your breaking point isn't a weakness, it's a signal. It's a reminder that you're wired differently, built to withstand storms that would overwhelm others. Embrace it. Use it. The world may not always understand your silence or your detachment, but you know this. Every breaking point is a chance to rebuild yourself stronger, wiser, and untouchable. Let's get started, brothers. Number 1. His observations become brutal reality checks. When a Sigma male reaches his breaking point, his ability to observe and analyze people becomes something extraordinary and terrifying. Sigmas are naturally perceptive. They notice the small things others miss. Subtle body language, inconsistencies in words, or unspoken tensions. Nothing escapes their sharp eye. But at their breaking point, this talent shifts into something more raw and unapologetic. What makes it so unnerving is that the Sigma male doesn't lash out in anger or impulsiveness. Instead, he delivers truths with a calm, calculated tone that's impossible to ignore. He doesn't sugarcoat, soften, or dance around the facts. His words cut straight to the core, and when he points out someone's flaws, hypocrisies, or hidden motives, it's like a mirror reflecting their truest self back at them, whether they like it or not. What makes these reality checks even more impactful is their accuracy. Sigmas don't rely on assumptions or emotional bias. Their observations are rooted in facts, logic, and a deep understanding of human behavior. When they speak, their words land with weight because they've been quietly analyzing and connecting the dots long before the confrontation. For those on the receiving end, it's a moment of reckoning. Facades crumble. Denial falters. It's not just that the Sigma male points out truths, it's how he does it. His calm delivery makes it clear that he's not seeking revenge or trying to hurt anyone. He's simply done tolerating dishonesty, manipulation, or pretense. This ability to deliver brutal, unfiltered truths is part of what sets Sigma males apart. They don't waste time on lies, yours or theirs. And when they speak, it's not to argue but to lay everything bare. And that's what makes it so powerful and so terrifying. Number 2, he goes dark to recalibrate. When a Sigma male hits his breaking point, he doesn't explode outward, he retreats inward. To the outside world, it may seem like he's disappeared, but this isn't an act of avoidance. For the Sigma, going dark is a calculated move, a deliberate withdrawal from the chaos to regain clarity and control. It's his way of shutting out the noise, reassessing his priorities, and rebuilding his mental and emotional fortress. During this period of isolation, he's not hiding, he's recalibrating. Sigma males thrive in solitude, and this is when they operate at their most reflective and strategic. They analyze what led to the breaking point, stripping away the unnecessary and toxic elements of their lives. It's a process of resetting boundaries, reevaluating relationships, and rebuilding their inner strength. While others may seek external validation or support, the Sigma male draws power from within, leaning into his independence to emerge stronger. What makes this transformation so intimidating is its unpredictability. No one sees it coming. One moment he's off the radar, and the next, he's back, sharper, more focused, and completely untouchable. By the time people realize what's happening, he's already 10 steps ahead. This period of going dark isn't just about recovery, it's about evolution. He doesn't just bounce back, he levels up, using the pressure to refine himself into someone even more formidable. The terrifying truth is, when a Sigma male goes dark, it's a warning sign. It means he's not just dealing with the situation, he's transforming because of it. And when he re-emerges, he's no longer the same. He's sharper, stronger, and far more resilient than before, making it clear that breaking him is not an option. Number 3, he exposes manipulators without mercy. When a Sigma male reaches his breaking point, his tolerance for deception hits zero. Known for their sharp, observational skills, Sigmas are adept at spotting manipulators long before others even suspect foul play. However, when pushed too far, their patience for staying silent evaporates. They no longer let the manipulators operate unchecked. They expose them with precision and often without mercy. What makes this exposure so impactful is how the Sigma male goes about it. He doesn't resort to loud accusations or emotional outbursts. Instead, he calmly and methodically lays out the facts, leaving no room for denial or escape. Manipulators, who often rely on confusion and misdirection, find themselves trapped in their own web. A Sigma male will dismantle their schemes so subtly that they may not even realize the trap closing in until it's too late. In some cases, he chooses to expose manipulators publicly, forcing them to face their lies in front of others. In other instances, he works quietly, ensuring their influence crumbles from within. Either way, the result is the same. The manipulator is left humiliated, powerless, and unable to continue their games. What makes this even more terrifying is that the Sigma male doesn't act out of vengeance. He's not seeking payback or trying to cause unnecessary harm. His actions come from a place of principle. He simply refuses to allow dishonesty to thrive in his presence. For the Sigma male, this is about justice. Manipulators rely on others to stay silent or look the other way. A Sigma male does neither. He exposes their actions with unflinching clarity, making it clear that manipulation has no place in his world, and those who attempt it will always be unmasked. Number 4, he starts to cut off the dead weight. When a Sigma male hits his breaking point, he undergoes a brutal clarity. His time, energy, and attention are his most valuable assets. If you're not adding value to his life, consider yourself on the chopping block. He doesn't waste time on people who drain him, who offer nothing but negativity or take more than they give. The Sigma male has no patience for energy vampires, and when he recognizes that someone no longer contributes to his growth or well-being, he makes the cut, swiftly and decisively. This isn't a decision he makes lightly. Sigma males don't rush to discard people or relationships. They observe, analyze, and weigh whether someone adds meaningful value to their lives. But once they reach their breaking point, they no longer hesitate. Whether it's a toxic friendship, a draining family dynamic, or a relationship that's going nowhere, the Sigma male doesn't cling to the past. He removes the dead weight without a second thought. The real power behind this move is that it's not just about removing negativity. It's about creating space for what truly matters. The Sigma male understands that in order to level up, he must free himself from anything that hinders his progress. His circle shrinks, but the people who remain are those who support his journey, challenge him, and encourage his growth. For those on the receiving end of this, it's a hard truth to swallow. They may have been a part of his life for years, but when they no longer contribute to his vision, they're left behind. The Sigma male doesn't dwell on it. He simply moves forward, focusing on what will elevate him to new heights. And those who have overstayed their welcome, they're erased from his life without hesitation or regret. Number 5, he will not beg. When a Sigma male reaches his breaking point, he will not beg. He doesn't plead for understanding, sympathy, or recognition. He's done trying to explain himself or seek validation from those who don't value him. If someone fails to appreciate his worth or takes him for granted, he doesn't waste time trying to prove his significance. Instead, he disappears quietly, leaving no trace, no explanation. There's no dramatic exit, no last-ditch attempt to make someone see the light. The Sigma male doesn't need closure or acknowledgement from others to move on. He knows his own value, and if others can't see it, that's their loss, not his. He's not interested in begging for a seat at the table if the table doesn't respect him. His self-worth doesn't depend on anyone's opinion or approval. It's innate, grounded in his independence and quiet confidence. When he disappears, it's final. Those who fail to see him for what he is are left to wonder what went wrong. And by the time they realize his absence, it's too late. The Sigma male doesn't look back. He's moved on, already focused on his next challenge, his next goal. Begging for attention, sympathy, or understanding is beneath him because he knows that true respect is earned through actions, not pleas. This is what makes him so formidable. He doesn't need validation. He doesn't need anyone to recognize his worth. If you don't value him now, you never will, and he won't waste a single breath trying to convince you otherwise. He will simply walk away, leaving you with the haunting realization that you've just lost someone irreplaceable. Number 6, he does the unthinkable. When a Sigma male reaches his breaking point, the actions he takes are nothing short of unthinkable. While most people buckle under pressure or try to salvage what's broken, the Sigma male will make bold, decisive moves that others would never dare consider. There's no hesitation, no second guessing, only the sharp clarity that comes with a mind no longer willing to tolerate toxicity, compromise, or stagnation. It's not just about quitting a job or walking away from a relationship. It's about taking the most drastic step to protect his peace, his future, and his mental clarity. If he's been trapped in a toxic environment, he won't hesitate to leave it all behind. He'll walk away from a career that no longer serves him, sever ties with people who drag him down, or even disappear entirely from a life that feels suffocating. These actions are not done impulsively. They're calculated, necessary steps to free himself from anything that threatens his growth or well-being. What makes this truly terrifying is how absolute it is. The Sigma male has no fear of consequences because at this point, the cost of staying in a toxic situation is far greater than the cost of walking away. Most people wouldn't dare take such drastic actions because they're trapped by fear. Fear of losing stability, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. But for the Sigma male, none of those fears matter. His only concern is reclaiming control over his life. And if that means making radical, life-altering decisions, then so be it. When a Sigma male takes such bold steps, it's a reminder to everyone around him that he's not someone to be underestimated or taken for granted. He's willing to burn it all down in order to rebuild on his own terms, and that level of freedom and resolve is both awe-inspiring and terrifying. Number 7, he becomes a lone wolf for real. When a Sigma male reaches his breaking point, his independence transcends its usual boundaries. It morphs from a mere trait into an impenetrable fortress, making his solitude not just a choice but a necessity. He's always been self-sufficient, but at this critical juncture, the idea of relying on others, emotionally, mentally, or physically, becomes unthinkable. The noise of external opinions, judgments, and expectations simply fades into irrelevance. Others might see his withdrawal as isolation or retreat, but the Sigma male views it as a form of recalibration. He recognizes that in order to preserve his sanity, clarity, and purpose, he must detach from all distractions and reassert control over his life. This period of solitude isn't about avoiding the world. It's about sharpening his mind, reconnecting with his true self, and preparing for whatever challenges lie ahead. During this time, the Sigma male's focus becomes laser-sharp. The opinions of others? They no longer hold weight. The distractions of social obligations or unnecessary interactions, they're discarded without a second thought. He no longer feels the need to explain or justify his actions, because the only person whose approval matters is his own. As a lone wolf, he operates on his own terms. This solitary period isn't a moment of weakness, but one of intense personal growth. The Sigma male knows that in solitude, he finds his true strength, not from the approval or support of others, but from the undeniable power of his own self-reliance. When he returns from this period of isolation, he does so stronger, more focused, and more untouchable than before, having recalibrated his life to a new, invincible standard. Number 8, he reverts to cold logic. When a Sigma male reaches his breaking point, emotion becomes irrelevant. In its place, cold, calculated logic takes the wheel. He no longer has the bandwidth for emotional responses or impulsive decisions. His mind shifts into overdrive, analyzing every situation with surgical precision, dissecting problems like a strategist at war. He doesn't waste time getting emotionally tangled in the chaos around him. He's too focused on the solution, too committed to his next move. Where others might react impulsively, driven by frustration or anger, The Sigma male steps back and processes everything with detached clarity. Every word, every action, every decision is weighed and measured for its practicality, its efficiency, and its long-term impact. His mind no longer entertains the noise of emotions. It focuses solely on the facts and how to navigate through them with the least amount of resistance. This ability to revert to pure logic makes him unnervingly effective. In this state, he doesn't waste energy on unnecessary debates or emotional distractions. He sees the world as a puzzle to be solved, and he'll solve it, no matter how complex or difficult it may seem. For others, this can be chilling. The Sigma male's lack of emotional involvement in decisions makes him seem cold, detached, and perhaps even ruthless. But it's not that he's incapable of feeling. It's that, when pushed to the edge, he recognizes that emotions only cloud judgment. In this state, he's at his most lethal, because without emotion holding him back, he's unstoppable, operating at full mental capacity with no distractions. Number 9, he rewrites his entire playbook. When a Sigma male is pushed to his breaking point, it's not just about survival, it's about reinvention. He doesn't merely adapt to the circumstances, he rewrites his entire playbook. Every aspect of his life, mindset, and habits comes under scrutiny. The things that no longer serve him, that have held him back or drained his energy, are ruthlessly dismantled. He clears the rubble of outdated strategies, old ways of thinking, and habits that no longer align with his goals. And from that rubble, he builds something bolder, smarter, and far more untouchable than before. This isn't a casual change, it's a total reset. The Sigma male understands that growth doesn't come from just tweaking things around the edges. It comes from burning down what no longer works and reconstructing a more powerful version of himself. His previous approach might have been effective, but at his breaking point, he recognizes the need for a radical shift. This playbook isn't built on the same old patterns. It's designed for higher stakes and tougher challenges. What makes this so unnerving for others is how quickly he moves forward. While most people might linger in the past, clinging to old systems, the Sigma male shifts into overdrive. His strategy becomes more calculated, his decisions sharper, and his moves more unpredictable. He becomes even more untouchable because he's no longer following a formula that others can predict. Every step he takes is one calculated for his success. And that success doesn't just mean overcoming challenges, it means dominating them. The Sigma male's ability to rewrite his playbook on his own terms shows just how far his adaptability stretches. He's not just bouncing back. He's coming back stronger, more focused, and more prepared for whatever comes next. In a world full of people who struggle to make changes, he's the one who reshapes the game entirely. Number 10. He becomes brutally honest with himself. At his breaking point, the Sigma male's most intense battle is not with the world, but with himself. He doesn't shy away from confronting his own flaws, weaknesses, and past mistakes. Instead of seeking distractions or excuses, he dives headfirst into uncomfortable truths about who he is and where he's fallen short. This self-reflection isn't about self-pity. It's about sharpening his mind, strengthening his resolve, and emerging with a deeper sense of clarity and purpose that others can't even begin to understand. What's truly terrifying about this process is how brutally honest he becomes with himself. There's no room for denial, self-deception, or sugarcoating. Every misstep, every failure, every moment of weakness is laid bare and analyzed. The Sigma male doesn't look at these things as failures to wallow in, though. Instead, he sees them as lessons, critical lessons that will refine him and fuel his next steps forward. This deep introspection gives him an unrelenting clarity of purpose. He understands himself on a level most people never bother to reach. He knows exactly where he stands, what he's capable of, and where he needs to improve. And once he's emerged from this period of self-examination, he does so with a laser-focused determination that others find almost unnerving. Where others might remain lost in their own self-doubt, the Sigma male has turned his introspection into a powerful driving force. He doesn't waste energy on regret or self-criticism. He absorbs everything, learns from it, and channels it into becoming a version of himself that is far more formidable than before. And that level of self-mastery is something few can truly match. Number 11, he builds a fortress around his life. When a Sigma male hits his breaking point, he doesn't crumble. Instead, he rebuilds, stronger, wiser, and more impenetrable than before. What some might view as a moment of weakness becomes the Sigma's foundation for constructing a life so fortified that no external force can easily disrupt it again. This transformation begins with boundaries. The Sigma male evaluates what and who led him to his breaking point, identifying the weaknesses in his life that allowed others to overstep or drain his energy. Then, with laser focus, he restructures his world. Toxic relationships, gone. Unnecessary obligations, eliminated. He doesn't hesitate to cut away anything that no longer serves his peace, productivity, or purpose. Next, he builds a routine that reflects his priorities. Every detail of his life becomes intentional, designed to foster resilience and independence. Whether it's dedicating time to personal growth, mastering his craft, or cultivating physical and mental strength, he creates a system that reinforces his self-sufficiency. This isn't about rigid control. It's about ensuring that his foundation is unshakable, no matter what challenges arise. What makes this so remarkable and terrifying is the efficiency of his transformation. The Sigma male doesn't announce his plans or seek approval. While others may not even realize what's happening, he's quietly constructing a fortress around his life. And when he's finished, the results are undeniable. A man who's not just unbroken, but completely untouchable. This fortress isn't just physical or logistical, it's emotional and psychological too. The Sigma male learns from his breaking point, ensuring that no one will ever have the same power over him again. His life becomes a reflection of his strength, discipline, and clarity, making it clear that he's a force no one can shake. As I wrap up, when a Sigma male reaches his breaking point, it's not the end of the road. It's the moment he steps into a new level of strength and clarity. It's when all the emotional clutter gets wiped away, and what's left is a man who's honed, focused, and unstoppable. This is the point where fear, hesitation, and self-doubt no longer control him. What remains is a version of himself that operates on his terms, free from the chains of society's expectations. To all the Sigma males out there, remember, your ability to endure, adapt, and transform in the face of adversity is what sets you apart. You may reach your breaking point, but it's never really a breaking. It's a powerful shift. You don't collapse under pressure. You recalibrate, becoming sharper and more resolute. You don't beg for understanding. You build your world and make it yours. And when you're pushed, you show the world exactly who you are, someone who doesn't break but evolves. It's easy to underestimate the strength of someone who can remain calm while facing chaos. But don't confuse silence for weakness. A Sigma male's breaking point isn't about losing control, it's about shedding the parts of himself that no longer serve him. The world may try to break you, but all it does is uncover the unshakable power within you. Stay true to yourself, trust your process, and know that what you build after your breaking point will always be stronger than what came before. You're not just surviving, you're creating something extraordinary. Keep going. Thank you for watching. See you in our next video. God bless you.